Every system has its flaws, part 2. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for watching. As you know, there I am in my office, and I was given the task of finding the most fair system for charging for the city. So I thought very carefully, and I found 2 ways of doing it. And what I mean is there's the daily method and there's the monthly method that we're going to put in. And each one of them, there's 2 ways. There's 2 ways of doing the daily, and there's 2 ways of doing the monthly. So that arguably means there's 4 ways to charge the fare. That's 4 ways for the customer to choose from. So I'm going to explain each one. Number 1, is the daily method where you pay for each vehicle. You travel on 1 bus, you pay this rate. You go from bus to train, you pay for 2. Bus and then 2 subways, you pay for 3. Okay, so now I remember that argument. How come I pay more if I have to travel for 3? So to allow for that fact, we've lowered the price for each one to allow for the fact that you're paying more. Now, I know it works more against someone who's using more than one transport, but the Toronto system, I believe they still use the transfer system when you travel, let's say, from one bus to another. So with this method, we do away with showing transfers or proof that you're on the same system because you're paying extra. And that's extra income. That can lower the price, which means overall, everyone will be better off before. So if something benefits, a new system benefits more and works against less, it means a better system than before. And as long as we keep on changing and benefiting more people, so that's the good thing. And if we eliminate those transfers between cars, there's more money for infrastructure or lowering the price. The other daily method is 1 daily pass. You pay 1 amount, and with this pass, you can use that transport as much as you want within that day. So that's the 2 daily ways you can choose from. Another method, the other 2 methods are the 2 monthly methods, and that is 2 types of monthly passes. The 1 monthly pass just means unlimited, travel as much as you want. Doesn't matter, completely unlimited, so long as it's within that month, and that could be very useful for some people. Another method is, this is in between the flat rate and paying per distance. See, there's advantages and disadvantages for each. And what that is specific rates between specific stops. So let's say, and this is particularly useful for someone who goes to work 5 days a week. Let's say that's the name of your city, of your stop where you live. And that's the name of the stop where you need to travel to. You look in the chart, that's the price of your monthly pass. So it's like a grid system. Whatever 2 sets of stops you start and finish, that's what you pay for. Each one has its own price. Now the next question, that still doesn't answer the question, how do you work out the prices between the stops? I mean, it has to be a fair system. We're not making up numbers. This is very cute. I understood the people who complained about the flat rate and understood about those who complained about paying for distance or time. So this is a compromise. What it is, the way these prices are set, you do pay more for the further you travel, but by a smaller amount. So let's say, for example, I travel 40 kilometers to work every day. My neighbor travels 5 kilometers to work every day. I would pay double for between my stop and where I start and finish compared to his start and finish stop. And so with that's would be my monthly pass between those 2 stops. So you are paying more for distance, but a much smaller portion. And that's like a fair compromise between the 2 systems. And that is my suggestion for the Transavia system. It's not perfect, but hopefully it's better and it has few flaws as possible. And I think it's reasonably fair for everyone. And even like someone says, but today I have to go just the small distance. How come I'm paying more than someone who might be going further, or vice versa? Remember, that's just for the one time. That's unfair. If to help undo it, there's the monthly options. And that's my suggestion for most sustainable system. And remember, I'm not just talking about a transit systems. I'm using it as a lens for all the transit systems out there. So it's about finding the best system we can. So that's what we should do for anything, but be it health or law or whatever. So the main challenge is to keep improving. I told you my suggestion. What about you? Do you have another suggestion, or do you have a problem with my suggestion? Please put in the comments. Thank you for watching Martin Talks, and see you next time.